Hi there, Eric Bakker. Thank you for coming back. I often get asked this question. It's a common question, and I'm going to give a common reply to it. And the reason why I'm doing this question again is because it's quite apparent from the correspondence I get that many people don't know the answer to this question. So please bear with me if you know the answer to the question, because many people don't. So the question is, what are the best foods to support a healthy digestive system? So I've made 7 points I'm going to discuss, and these points are very relevant. Follow this kind of plan, you're going to end up with a great, healthy gut. So the first one, obviously, is we need to eat plenty of vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, seeds, grains into our diet. These really support excellent health because they contain lots of different fibers in them. Many fibers that are partially digestible and many fibers that are non-digestible. So your digestive system loves this kind of a, it loves this kind of a load because it's going to be able to break these things down, some of them a little bit more rapidly to give you more energy, some more slowly, and some of these vegetables in particular will not get broken down much at all. They'll get busted down to a fiber, which then the bacteria further down the digestive tract can act on and probably break down and convert that into fuel for good bacteria. So that's why it's important to avoid junk and sugar and ice cream and crap like that. It will not support good cellular growth in the bowel. All it will support is production of gas, and you get bloating out of that and weight gain, which you don't want. So plenty of vegetables, legumes, beans, fruits. I've written down raspberries, green beans and peas, broccoli, lentils, whole grains, asparagus, almonds. There are so many foods that fit into this category. You guys out there will know these kind of foods. These are the best foods to eat. So eat plenty of that category. The second one, which you probably know about, are the fermented and cultured foods. So what's the difference between a ferment and a culture, some people ask me. How do I know that one is what? Well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I've written down here, ferments with a culture include wine, yogurt, and bread, for example. We add cultures to that and we let that go through a fermentation process. All right? So if you look at kimchi and sauerkraut, they didn't have anything added to them per se. With sauerkraut, you're going to pound that, and put the juice from that. You're going to be attracting yeast, wild yeast from the air, which are going to help to ferment, create that fermentation process. But you don't usually add a starter to sauerkraut. So these foods are also naturally good to support healthy digestive, system health, providing you can tolerate them, right? Many people say to me, I can't tolerate yogurt, or I've put, kimchi into my diet, or I put some sauerkraut in. I'm getting bloated and gassy, and it's not working for me. And lots of people will go onto different sites and read about fermenting, for example. They'll make kimchi up and they'll be drinking gallons of this stuff, and they'll get sick. And they can't work out why they're getting sick. It's because their bacteria in their gut is not balanced yet. You need to pull these foods out and wait. Keep working on chewing. Keep working on relaxing. You might need to work more with enzymes or probiotics. You may have some microbes that need to be cleaned out the gut. And eventually you'll be able to tolerate these foods again. So if you can't tolerate it now, don't think of it as die off or something. Just pull it out of your diet. Wait a period of maybe 6 weeks or 2 months. Put a little bit back in, maybe at 5 or 10%. And then take it from there. The artificial sweetness is a big one when it comes to the gut. Some of the research I did into aspartame and different types of artificial sweeteners, it shows that they really affect the bacteria a lot. Most of the studies I read basically talk about rats, but I'm pretty sure that a similar thing will happen in the human gut in terms of insulin resistance, in terms of sugar cravings. So artificial sweeteners make you want to have more sugar. Right? They affect different inflammatory pathways in the body, making it more likely that you could end up with a stroke or a heart attack. Don't eat this stuff, it's junk. If you really want some natural kind of sweet stuff, I would say look at fruit. If your candida problem is not bad, or you haven't got much candida, verified by a test, you may be able to eat a little bit more than you currently are eating. Berries are usually a good treat for people who want sweet stuff. You can also grow stevia as a plant. I've got a big plant in my yard. It's quite nice. You can pick some leaves off that and chew on that. But you don't need artificial sweeteners. Kick them out. prebiotic foods I've spoken to many times now on various videos. These are some foods in particular that contain sugars, natural sugars, and starches, natural starches, that support the growth of probiotics. So we call these prebiotics. As you will be aware of by now, I'm not a fan of prebiotic supplements. I just find they cause bloating in so many people and gas. And you don't need these kind of prebiotic sugars in with your supplement. Berries, almonds, leafy greens, especially things like brassicas, broccoli, things like that, cauliflower, these are prebiotic foods. Legumes, asparagus, sprouts, these are all prebiotic foods. These are a great addition to the diet. Eat whole grains. They contain tons of fiber, right? And these are broken down again in the large intestine. They contain a particular kind of carbs called beta-glucans. And you'll find these in many different types of grains. Quinoa is a good grain to eat. Brown rice is a good grain to eat. Most people can tolerate these grains, and they're very, very good in the digestive system. And again, small amounts to begin with. Don't start with large amounts. Last point, eat a diet diverse in different types of fibers. Meaning, don't just stick with carrot and broccoli on your plate and a bit of boiled potato and a piece of chicken. Lots of people eat too basic like that. They keep eating the same vegetables time and again. So my recommendation is for you to experiment, and every few weeks to try a new vegetable you may not have tried before. This is going to introduce new fiber into your diet, which is exciting for your gut because it gives it the opportunity then to work on those kind of fibers you previously have not consumed. This could be really good for you because it may allow your gut again to grow more of a species that are in low calc, for example. Last thing I'll leave you with is to take a probiotic supplement because this enhances all this kind of work. So if you want to increase the beneficial bacteria in the stomach or the small bowel or the large bowel, follow these points I've just mentioned, but also take a probiotic every single day. You can take any kind of probiotic, but just make sure it's a good one, that's balanced, that's got a couple of good species of lactobacillus in it, and a couple of species of bifidobacteria in it. Now you don't have to buy mine, but I'm going to show you mine anyway, and I'll show you why I created this one the way I did. It's a green label called Candida Restore. This has got 6 probiotics in it. It's also got 7 enzymes in it, which support the action of the probiotic by allowing, the body, assisting the body in helping to break down foods more effectively, giving the probiotics more food. Make sure you have at least 3 strains of lactobacillus in your supplement. 2 is good, 3 is better. I like Lactobacillus rhamnosus, Lactobacillus plantarum, Lactobacillus acidophilus, and Lactobacillus casei. Okay, those are all in the Candida Restore. I've also put bifidobacteria in there. 2 species are in here. We put the bifidolongum and the bifidobifidum. So 5 types of probiotics in the one capsule. Now that's in a special capsule that goes through the gut, so it's not going to open up in the stomach. It'll start opening up further down and putting that load where you want it, in the intestines. So there you have it. That's a bit of a summary for me on, some of the good things that you can do to support bacteria in the digestive tract. I hope that answers a few questions for some people out there. And thank you for the question. Always appreciate it.